So I want to take a little bit of a second to talk to my little guy that went through that experience, was super brave, and I got a song for him. That's for my little guy. Be healed, little brother. We made it. Hello, my name is Daniel Davenport. I wanted to do a video of my contact experience. So the Disclosure movie, Disclosure Day, came out, and interestingly, to my surprise, it looks a lot like my story. And I wanted to talk about it because I've thought about it my entire life, but I haven't really, I was like, I don't know what that was. I was just a little kid. I was like 1 or 2 years old. And when I was 1 or 2, strangely, I have early memories because I almost drowned when I was 1. So I remember being like under the water. So I guess memories began then, probably attached to some kind of fear or something. But the next thing that I do remember is when I was about 1 or 2, I was coming from asleep, and I remember laying in my crib, And that's why about the background here. So this particular background is kind of what I drew because this was something similar to what I remember from that super early memory. So if you see, this is my childhood bedroom door in Montgomery, Alabama. And this is my room, kind of like, in the night. This is me, little guy. Of course, he's a light being. But in my picture, I'm laying in my crib, and this is all that I remember. And the biggest characteristic of this particular drawing and thing that I do remember is if you look right up here, there is what appears to be like a black mist or something moving across the ceiling. So what that was, as far as I can remember, I remember waking up and being completely still, not able to actually move. And I wasn't scared when I woke up, but I started to see that black mist move essentially from the corner of the room kind of over to the ceiling fan. And I remember being, of course, a little guy, super scared, like extremely fearful. Okay, the next thing that I remember is maybe sometime after that, I thought that I had woken up in the middle of the night. I guess this was a completely different night. Woke up in the middle of the night and went down the hallway and looked into what I thought was my brother's room. And I was like, who are those two beings sitting with my little brother? And I was like really worried. I was like, I hope that they're like not doing something to him or, not messing with him or hurting him in any kind of way. And it turns out that that was me out of my physical body as a little guy, about 2 or 3 years old, being worked on, or something was happening, because I've since learned that I'm part of the hybrid program with the ETs. And of course, these kind of things you agree to apparently before you come into this life. And it's just part of something, a way that you serve the universe. So it's not really a big deal anymore to me. It'll be a big deal to a lot of people that probably hear this, but I've dealt with this my entire life, and it's something that's extremely vivid in my memory. So I wanted to share it, and especially since Disclosure Day just came out. And the guy's name is Daniel. The main character is Daniel, which is my name. And also, the other part of that is very similar to the contact experience that I just described to you. I think I don't want to spoil it, but there's a contact experience with a guy and a girl, and it's something similar to, kind of what I'm telling you about here. So I've spent 45 years not talking about it because didn't really want people to think that I was like weird, an alien guy. But you know what? If you think I'm weird, I really don't care. And also, I'm autistic. So, if you can just blame it on that, that's fine. But I am a high functioning one. So, in any case, that has helped a lot. So, I want to talk a little bit more about that. So, that was the first contact experiences that I remember. So, let's fast forward to 44 years later. I've been, basically had a near-death experience. I was almost killed by a boat, back in, I'd say, 2024 in July. And my son was driving. We were both almost died. Well, I started watching near-death experiences. So that's what happens when you're laid up healing and trying to essentially, figure out what is life. You start thinking about your mortality. So you start seeing what other people are thinking about that. And near-death experiences are one way to do that. So near-death experiences kind of led me to, people that had, different abilities. When they came back, they were very different. A lot of them are what you call awakened. A lot of them have some supernatural channeling abilities, things like that. And so I got into that particular part of content because everybody's saying the same story over and over. We're talking hundreds of NDEs that I watched. Hundreds. They all have the same pattern. Autistic guy, also a very high functioning engineer, very successful. Some of you know that. So once you start seeing patterns emerge in such a way that are very consistent, you start to understand that this pattern has credibility. It starts to converge to truth. We'll just say that. So then that kind of starts to sharpen your discernment, and you start to kind of question everything that you have heard. You start to think about, well, maybe what I've been told is not accurate because this thing over here says that so many different things are saying that that's wrong. And so this has been my life in the last 3 years. And this has just been my process of awakening. And so I wanted to tell a little bit about it. It's been a long journey. In the process of awakening, I came across channels. One of the ones is Bashar. Bashar is uniquely attracts those that are involved in the hybrid program. And there are millions of us. It's not just one or two. It's not just a crazy guy in a trailer in Arizona. It's every different kind of person that you can think of all over the world with these contact experiences. Some remember, some don't remember at all. I barely remember like a couple, from childhood, just because I was so extremely terrified. By the time my 3rd birthday, I saw something that looked like a gray alien leaning up against the fence in the backyard at my 3rd birthday, and I was like terrified. It also was lightning and thundering, and then of course it was like, almost like a horror movie scene, I guess, sort of, when the clouds came in. But anyway, it still triggered me. And, so these kind of things, you're like, oh, just a scared kid, just got scared of something, got spooked. But you cannot make this stuff up. And you definitely can't make up that 45 years later, I'm experiencing a film that came out, independent from me. I don't know Steven Spielberg. I don't know anything about, the movie industry or anything like that. I just went and saw the movie, and I saw myself in this particular movie. Even my name, y'all, same name, Daniel. And if you see it, that's not too big of a spoiler. There's a lot of other species out there. Despite what we've been told or what kind of narrative has been controlled, there's a lot of them out there. And, we just haven't known about it. People haven't told us. People forgot. There's a million reasons for it. And but that's all right. So what you're seeing now is everything coming back out. Everything that was covered up is coming back to light. It's things can't stay in the shadows for too long, especially as we shine brighter and brighter. There's more light available to see. So that's kind of what is going on. And what I really wanted to tell people is that everything is fine. Everything is completely fine. All is in hand. God has always had everything in control. There's nothing that you could do to make him love you less. That's what unconditional love is. And that's what we should have for each other, because we are fractals of the divine. We are sparks of the divine. There's many, many people that came here, Jesus Christ being one of those that came here and said, hey, we're sparks of the divine. And so are you. You can do these things and more. He literally said that.